The Trout was honored to an exclusive interview with Frank Hannon, legendary former lead guitarist and co-founder of Tesla, known for iconic rock anthems like Love Song. Frank's just released his solo instrumental album Reflections on September 12, 2025. After a year of personal loss, he rediscovered his passion for the guitar, crafting soulful tracks like Our Father's Love, Sunrise, and San Francisco, a nod to his Bay Area roots. Blending blues, rock, and acoustic artistry, Reflections showcases Frank's emotive solos and fresh soundscapes. Let's dive into his journey and this stunning album. Now here's The Trout with Frank. Enjoy.
This is Frank Hannon coming at you live and real. This is real, man.
That's real. How did the show go last night?
Hey, the show was fantastic. The whole trip to New York City was such a success.
Good.
It was a very small crowd, but man, I still played like it was at the Madison Square Garden. It didn't stop me from wanting to put out my guitar energy. I had some very cool fans that had come down, and you know, it was at the Cutting Room, which is a great sounding room.
Yeah.
And more importantly, and most importantly too, is I got to play for some old friends. The editor of Guitar World magazine was there, and my friends from my old record company were there, and it was a magic night.
Well, you know, the funny thing, you're a unique person right now, because, and I'll tell you why. Because not very many people go out and bring their guitar and just start playing for people. No way, I know I'm sure you got backing tracks. I think I heard that, but still, it's just you.
It's just me, and I'm telling some stories and talking about some experiences that are guitar related. And well, you know, it's always come natural to me to play guitar, and I like to make people feel good. And so it's been fun. It is a vulnerable position to be in. I will tell you that. It's a
Yeah.
very vulnerable position,
Yep.
especially when your guitar goes out of tune a little bit and you're trying to talk and tune at the same time in between songs.
Yeah.
But yeah, I pulled it off. I'll tell you a funny story. One time I got hired by KGDO in Des Moines, Iowa, to be the intermission music by myself with guitar at the huge music festival they put on. So in between bands, you know, and I think Scorpions and Journey and all these huge bands were playing this festival. I can't really remember right off
Yeah.
the but during set change, it was just me by myself strumming an acoustic, trying to keep the crowd entertained. And so I've got a little bit of experience at it.
It's a like you said, it's a very vulnerable position. You got a microphone, and
Yeah.
that's the protection. So,
Yeah.
so
Well,
how many?
I'm
No, go
sorry, go
ahead.
ahead.
No, no, go
This
ahead.
music on this album is really vulnerable in a sense of it's all guitar. There's no drums or singing. It's an instrumental album. My new record, Reflections,
Hmm.
and it's music that I've created that's very different than Tesla, and it's from my soul, this music. So it does feel a little bit more vulnerable than normal to be doing these shows, I'll be honest.
But you know what it is, Frank? It's you. It's the real you.
You know, yeah, it is. I will say it's from the heart and genuine for sure.
Because I mean, all the bands that we were in, I know you were in a very successful band, but still, you're in a band. And when you're doing it on you're sitting down and writing the songs. By the way, how long did it take you to put all that together? How long when you start on writing it for the project?
I started recording little guitar ideas in November after my wife and I returned from a cross country trip. We evacuated from Hurricane Milton. We had horses and
Hmm.
dogs and cats and a horse trailer, and Milton was coming straight for us. And so we had to get out of there and evacuate it. And by the time we got 400 miles north, we decided just to keep on going. And we made it all the way back to California in a month. It was like Noah's Ark, man, with the animals. And one of our horses was sick and we had to put her down, and it was
Mm.
very tough. And
Oh
so
yeah.
that was in October. Excuse me. So the month of November, I started creating these songs and using the guitar as kind of a healing thing. Just no singing, just play guitar. And it all came very quickly in a burst of creativity. Uh, so I'd say about a month I spent.
Isn't it funny though that some artists will work on a project forever, and with me, it seems like when the faucet gets turned on, it gets on, and then it's just you just can't stop it. You just keep creating.
Yeah, and the trick is knowing when that's happening and going with it
Yeah.
and not stopping that. And I had read an interview or heard an interview with Tom Petty, and he said that was the same thing for him. When he got an idea, he would go with it, and he would realize that he was receiving this idea and didn't want to lose it. So find the best creative time was first in the morning, man. A lot of this stuff was recorded. I would play around with the guitar and I sitting on the couch and come up with an idea, record it on my voice memo on the phone, listen to it, go to bed, wake up first thing in the morning at 5 in the morning when the sun's coming up, listen again to the voice memo and go, okay, yeah, I can play this now. And then record it. And it would genuinely be the first take, usually, that I would record on my cell phone with this little microphone called Audigo. Here, let me see if I could dig it out for you. It made the capturing the music very real and simple and organic. I'm digging in my bag here.
That's all right. Take your time.
By the way, did I tell you we're on the road? Look, there's New York City right there.
So how far is Daryl's house from New York City?
2 hours north, and we
Okay.
are right now on the George Washington Bridge,
Oh
everybody.
wow, you are in New York City.
Yeah.
As we
So
say down in Texas, New York City. Get some face picante sauce.
yeah, yeah. I was that thought was that slogan was going through my mind the whole time I was here walking down the street with my cowboy hat. Now people ask, why are you wearing a cowboy hat? Is it country? No, it's Western. The music I describe on my album is Western. I grew up in the West, Northern California. As a kid, I've been shoveling horse shit for a long time. We've always had horses around, and so it's legit. It's legit. Oh, okay, so here you go.
What's
This is
this?
the microphone,
Well, that's interesting.
and it's called Audigo. And you record with it on it transfers to your cell phone, and my whole record was recorded with this on my cell phone.
That's
And
that's amazing to me.
I was able to capture my guitar live anywhere on a cruise ship, in a hotel room, in a
Yeah.
bedroom with that system. Hey, now we're in a tunnel.
I don't know which tunnel you're in.
I don't
Sorry.
know. George
I've
Washington.
been to New York for a while. It's been a long time. I don't have a desire to go to New York. There's too
Oh
much.
man, I love the experience of being here, but the streets are looking pretty bad, I'll tell you, man. It was pretty rough and gritty. But what part of Texas are you in?
I'm in the Dallas area, but I was born way down south in the Rio Grande Valley. And
Really? Okay.
and you reminded me when I was listening to One More Time, and I got to see Billy Gibbons before he had a beard, and when they just started
Wow,
out. And when
man,
I
he's
heard
so great.
you were doing that slide work, and I went, oh my God, that's Billy Gibbons. It sounds like Billy Gibbons.
Well, I
I mean,
take that as a compliment and an honor, man. Billy Gibbons is one of those guitar players that I forget to mention in interviews as an influence. His slide playing on Tush and just got paid. His slide playing. People ask me who's your influences on slide because everybody talks about Dwayne Allman and Warren
yeah,
Haynes and Derek
yeah,
Trucks,
yeah.
but my influence on slide playing is more rock and roll, I guess, like Billy Gibbons or Joe Walsh or Ronnie Montrose, or
Yeah.
Gary Rosington is one of my favorite slide
Oh,
players.
yeah. From Leonard Skinner. Yeah.
Yeah. But well, thanks for that comparison, man. Thank
Well,
you.
no, I mean, well, it's funny. We can't escape that. I
No
was
way.
there, I was back in April. There was the guitar shows here every April in Dallas, and I went down to see a great blues player, slide player, Joanna Connor, and
Okay.
she did her set, and she walked off the stage, and I said, I heard something there, and she goes, "What?" I said, "Johnny Winter." She goes, "Oh yeah, there's a little Johnny Winter in there." So we can't escape it. That's what influenced us.
Hey, I heard a great quote the other day. We're not reinventing the wheel.
No,
We're just keeping it rolling.
that's and
Right? That's pretty
and
good, huh?
yeah, keep it.
We're keeping that wheel rolling. We're not reinventing it.
I was thinking about, and it's funny because I was thinking about doing a podcast on. It came to my attention the other day when they had the VMAs. Somebody on Twitter put up that they brought in the old dudes from uh, Aerosmith and somebody, and they had like two songs that they played, and the music they played was like 50 years old or 40 years old. And Frank, it started me thinking, is rock dying? I mean, it's like, okay, because I don't want it to see that, but it seems like a genre that more people are moving away from. And I don't want to see that, but I think what you're doing with your influence with the rockabilly and all that stuff, I love that. I have a friend of mine here. He's a country swing artist, and
Yeah.
I just love that stuff. It's not something I want to digest all the time, but I love it because it just makes you feel good.
Makes you
And
feel good, man. People ask me about, do I like the blues? Yeah, I like the blues, but I like jumping blues, jumping
yeah,
the boogieing blues.
yeah, it
If
makes
it
you feel
makes you
good.
feel good.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit about this situation where you're going to right now. Is that something that you booked on your, I mean, your people booked you, or you called Daryl and said, "Hey, can I come up and perform?" I know a lot of people think of just Daryl's house, but it's like I know people go up there and perform all the time.
Yeah, I would love to be part of that filming experience.
Oh
This is
yeah.
my first. This is my first time. It's not going to be filmed or televised. This is my first time being at Daryl's house, and it's a restaurant club that he's got, and we put this together back in July around me coming to New York and playing my Reflections album,
Right.
and basically reconnecting with Guitar World magazine and some old friends in the publicity, and being here on the East Coast. And I have a great agent who helped me put it together, John Domagal, Arm Entertainment. They represent me as a solo artist, and they helped me put this together. And the fun one is going to be when we fly out of here tomorrow. We're heading to Jackson Hole, Wyoming,
Oh wow.
to the Horseshoe Music Festival that is put on by my brother-in-law, Dwayne Betts. And I'm so proud of Dwayne. He's a great guitar player, and he's got a great career. And he and Devin Allman are the sons of Dickie Betts and Greg
Yeah,
Allman, and they
yeah.
do their tributes and honor their dads. And they each have their own solo careers, and they let me play with them once in a while, and that's a lot of fun. And so we're gonna be flying to Jackson Hole tomorrow for that.
And the weather be perfect. I mean, it's obviously getting cool, but still it'll be the perfect time
Yeah.
of the year. It's still early enough in September, it's not going to be cold.
Hey, and so you mentioned Dallas International Guitar Festival. I
Yeah,
have
yeah.
performed there with Jimmy Wallace a bunch of times. Let's send a
Oh
shout
yeah.
out to that. That's a great event. I'm hoping to come
Yep.
back there next year and play this music at that. I think this music would fit perfectly at that event because it's all guitar, man. I really realized how important guitar as an instrument is to me. Um, I've dabbled with many different projects with Tesla as a songwriter and producer and other artists and playing keyboards and all this, trying to sing. Screw that, man. You know what I want to do? I want to play
Play
guitar.
your
That's it.
guitar.
Play guitar.
I
Yeah.
made that decision about 3 or 4 years ago, and I was doing albums where I was singing and writing rock songs and blues songs, and I finally said, I'm not going to do that anymore. I'll let my guitar do my speaking for me, you
Yes,
know,
brother.
and that way I don't have to worry. And the other thing, as you get older, as we all get older, people don't look at you and go, "This old dude's trying to do some rock music." If you just play an instrumental, they don't care. They
That's
don't.
right.
They don't care, and it's like, okay. And I mean, when I listen to your stuff, and I love that. I mean, what really caught my attention was I got the email from John, and John sends me. I've interviewed quite a few people, his clients, and I saw you standing in front of the tractor. I went, okay, I got to listen to this just because he's standing in front of a tractor.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
then you start playing. I'm going, dang. And then I started reading the rest of the PR release, and I go, oh, okay. So,
Yeah.
well,
That was a lot of fun.
I want to talk about guitars real quick though,
Okay.
because when you were with Tesla, what did you play mostly? Did you play like a Strat or a Les Paul? What did you play?
With Tesla, I've always played a Gibson SG
Oh, okay.
and a Les Paul and a Telecaster. Because I always did throw in a little Western twang in some of Tesla's songs back in the old days. And I think that kind of separated us a little bit from the glam bands of the era. A
Mm-hmm.
little bit, putting that. Plus, our singer has his lyrics are really, I'm really happy and proud of JK's lyric because we've always put out positive messages in our songs. But anyway, back to the guitars, a Telecaster, a Hummingbird or a Dove acoustic,
Okay.
and a J45 acoustic,
Okay.
and a Gibson double neck 12-string
Oh yeah,
electric.
I did see that in a couple of pictures of you having that thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I got that back in 1987 at the Gibson factory. Now, see, Gibson guitars before Slash made their comeback, they were really struggling,
Yes,
Gibson,
they
for a
were.
while because everybody was playing the pointy striped colored fluorescent guitars, and the classic sound was kind of not very popular at the time. So they were very supportive of guys that would play them. When I went to Gibson, they turned me on to that double neck, and they gave me a couple SGs, and it was a great time back then. Gibson SGs are my favorite because it's the mahogany body and it really resonates differently than a Les Paul. But man, a
Yeah.
Les Paul is a good old good old fashioned workhorse too. But then
Well,
I'd
that
always bring in the Telecaster.
yeah. Well, the thing about it, the point is, you're playing a semi hollow body now with that Gretsch. So you're
Yes,
getting a
sir.
different you're getting a different sound. And I figured you probably played a solid body on the other. I mean, I got my '87 Les Paul there. That's my favorite guitar.
I see
Uh,
that, man. I've been eyeballing it secretly, coveting my neighbor's possession over there.
Everybody
Yeah.
wonders why it looks so good. I said because it's my baby. I said I have another one. I have a gold top right there. But
I, I'm seeing a Firebird or something over there. I don't know, a headstock. But
yeah,
yeah.
that's
Well,
for the stuff when I record that I want to get single coil stuff. I want to get that where instead of going the reason I always like Les Pauls because I'm a sustain guy.
yeah.
I like sustain. I grew up playing blues. Right behind me is my half stacked Les Marshall. So
Okay.
I always like that. I know a lot of people get tired of playing them because they're so freaking heavy, but the sound you get out. But getting back to what you do, which is you're playing a Gretsch. That's the main axe you're doing now, isn't it? The Gretsch.
For my solo music, I've discovered the Gretsch. I've always loved the sound of Gretsch, but I really discovered it deeply on this project because the hollow body sound mixed in with the Filtertron pickups and the Bixby through a clean Fender amp
Hmm.
really gives you a lot of dynamics where you can play soft. And of course it fits this fact that I don't have drums or singing or anything to compete with. So I'm exploring the tones of the guitar with the Gretsch. It has a way of opening a whole nother sound for me. And I'm really loving it at this time. I love all guitars, man. I'm a sucker for guitars. Um, I've collected everything under the sun that nobody wants. I've got these moon-shaped guitars from Tokyo that I found. I've got these guitars that are made out of all metal. They're called Valeno. They're gorgeous. I don't know if you remember the Valeno guitar. It's a chrome aluminum guitar that's really unique. But right now I'm loving the sound of the hollow body Gretsch with the Filtertron pickups through a Fender amp. But it really works the best with this kind of music where there's a lot of space.
Yeah.
And, the space. And if the space inside the guitar, because I don't think it's semi-hollow. I think it's a full hollow body. I'm going to take a
It could be.
flashlight and
Yeah, I
really
think
look
you're right.
inside of it.
I'm sure it is. Yeah, you're
It
probably
doesn't
right.
have a block. It doesn't have a block through it. It's almost like playing an acoustic.
Wow.
In fact, there's a clip that someone posted where I was using headphones and the microphone was just picking up the guitar. You can't hear it plugged in, and it
Right.
sounds like an acoustic guitar
Yeah.
almost. But the solid body sounds work better for Tesla when you got a
No doubt.
Marshall and you're playing rock music, competing with drums. Then yeah, Les Paul or an SG, you got to have that.
It's funny when I was doing some research on you guys, and I'd forgotten you redid the Sign song by Five Man Electrical Band, which you had a big hit with that. And
Yes, sir.
I remember when it came out. I bought the album,
The
and
original Five Man
I had
Electric.
yeah, I have the original album, and I bought it, and that's the only song on it. I could never finish the rest of the album because the rest that's the best song on the album.
That's the best song.
So, and I'd forgot you guys had did that, and it was so popular back then because of all the long hair freaky people and all that stuff, and it made a statement.
Yeah,
And
right.
you guys took it and ran with it. But you've been doing solo. You were talking about Dwayne Betts a while ago. I was looking at some of the stuff you did, like Blue Sky, I think on
Uh-oh.
with. There you there.
Are you
You're
still
back.
there?
Yeah, just hit a bad spot. You're fine.
Yep. Okay. We're on the road, people. Now
I
we
know.
are somewhere in the concrete jungle. I don't know, somewhere. Head north.
What'd he say?
He says he thinks we're in New York. We're in New York somewhere, but we're not sure.
Well, you know where you're going to be in a couple hours. That's all that matters.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
So then, so what? So and just logistically, you finish there. Do you come back to New York and fly out of there, or do you drive home? What do you do?
Yeah, we're gonna do the show at Daryl's house tonight, and then we're gonna drive back to Newark, New Jersey, and then
Mm,
we're gonna catch a flight to Jackson Hole, Wyoming with
out of
Dwayne
Newark.
Betts this weekend, and then I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna visit with my mom and my wife, and I'm gonna pick some peppers off my pepper plants, and I'm gonna boil some vinegar and pickle them, and then I'm gonna go out to the barn and shovel some horse shit and maybe saddle up my horse for the day, have some fun. And then I'm back at it with Tesla. We're going to House of Blues in Las Vegas.
Oh wow.
We're doing
Okay.
2 weeks, 2 weeks there. And at the House of Blues, a residency.
When was the last I read this, but I can't remember. When was the last time you guys put an album out?
Tesla put out a vinyl single for a song called All About Love that I did an acoustic solo on it. It's called From the Heart, and it's a vinyl 12-inch EP.
Okay.
And that was just last year. That was
Oh,
our
okay.
latest thing that we put out.
So are
And
you still have a great fan base that follow you guys? Like when you're going to Vegas, you do well?
oh yeah, I'm really blown away. Tesla's first album came out in '86, so 2026 is going to be 40 years anniversary, and we're still selling out casinos and theaters, and we average about 2,000 tickets a show, and
That's good.
it blows my mind. Yeah, our songs have still resonated after all this time with our fans, and they're very loyal. Our fans are like deadheads, but I think that the gals do shave their armpits. I think they do. Shower. And shower.
And shower. Yeah.
Yeah. We
Hey,
got some dedicated, loyal fans for sure.
you know what you should do? You should get in touch with Elon and ask him if he could provide you guys with the Tesla cars so you could pull up to the gig in a Tesla cars.
Right, right. Hey, that would be a great idea, but I think we tried that already and it didn't work. I think Elon's got his hands full with some other things, bro.
Yeah, he's kind of busy. I don't,
Yeah, he's kind of busy right now.
he's just kind of busy. He's trying to get to Mars. You're trying to get to upper state New York. He's trying to
Yeah,
get to Mars.
I'm trying to get to the Horseshoe Festival this weekend.
So, where is your location where you live? What you know, Northern California? Where do you live?
Yes, sir. I live in Northern California, up in the foothills where, again, I talk about Western life. It's where the gold rush was discovered in 1849.
Okay,
It's Placerville, California,
I know where that is. Yeah.
Hangtown. It's up in the mountains outside of Sacramento, and I grew up in South Sacramento, and I used to work up in the hills, and I used to always dream of living up there, and I just love it, man. It's home to me, and it's definitely home.
You know
But
what's cool? No, go ahead.
I'm looking forward to getting back to Fort Worth, though. You're close to Fort Worth, aren't
Oh
you?
yeah, Dallas Fort Worth, sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like to go to the Will Rogers Arena there, and there's a futurity that happens in December every year, the Great Horse event, and I look forward to getting back to Fort Worth. And
Yeah,
I
let me
do love
know.
Oklahoma.
Let me know when you're here. I'm going to stop by and see you. I'd like to. I unfortunately in my line, I don't get to meet a lot of people unless they come through. If they come through and
Okay, well, let's
you know,
stay in touch, Rick. I appreciate you having me on your show, and let's stay in touch and look it up. It's called the NCHA Futurity. It's for
okay.
cutting horses. It's a great event. They got an expo hall, and I might even try to book a little music gig there. I'm going to talk to
Well,
Bill Riddle.
yeah. I do have a question, kind of a personal question though. How long have you been married?
I've been married to Chrissy since 2001, so it'll be 24 years going on 25.
That's wonderful. I mean, in a business that doesn't bode well for people staying together, it's nice to see people that are still together enjoying life together.
Well, let me tell you, she's an angel and we're really compatible. And it helps that she grew up with a daddy who played guitar,
Yeah.
see? And I've been through hell, bro. Let me tell you, this is the third time's a charm. She's my gift from God. She's been my best friend for 25 years. But before that, let me tell you, I had some hard times in my life. And so you got to go through it to get to it.
I've been married twice. My wife and I just celebrated number 35. So I appreciate people who are married a long time. Everybody asks you, how can you tell me how it's going to work? And I go, there is no, you never know. You never know. And I
No,
can
man.
vision,
I'm
what I was
sorry.
going to
Go
say
ahead.
is I can envision you going back when you get off the road, getting on your horses, doing the Western thing, get that, I enjoy, I can see it. I can see it in my mind.
Well, my wife is a much better writer than I am. And so, as a husband, I have to step down and let her take the lead. And Bill Riddle said, "Now, Frank, you're never going to ride a horse as good as she does. Just get that in
Uh,
your head right now. But she's never going to play guitar like you. So, but
I
no,
kind of
she's
had the
my best
same
friend.
thing. My wife grew up on horses. She had a horse and all that stuff. And I always, when I go ride, and I ride so infrequently, I always go up and they go, how often do you ride? How often have you ridden? And I always say, counting today? And they go,
Yeah.
oh, okay. Bring out old Sadie.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it takes practice. They call it saddle time.
Oh, yeah.
You got to practice it just like anything, playing guitar. You got to be around them and get used to it. And they look for the confidence. Horses look for you to be confident and relaxed, and it's very therapeutic, the more time you spend doing it. But getting back to marriage, yeah, people are compatible that are not, personalities, and thankfully, my wife and I communicate with love, and we're very compatible. It's chemistry, though. People are either peanut butter and jelly and they taste good together, or they're peanut butter and mustard. It ain't gonna work.
Somebody like you, Frank, that's been around, and trying to continue doing what you love in a world of AI and digital music. It's a wonderful thing. And I think that's great that you can continue to do that.
Well, thanks a lot. I appreciate that. There is definitely a lot of ups and downs and seasons and changes and constantly. And I look to the old guys, man, for advice. And Dickie gave me the advice. You got to just keep on swinging. You're going to get knocked down, but you got to get back up and just keep going.
Yeah.
And, you know, he survived disco and
Oh,
losing
yeah.
friends and all the things he fought through. And, you know, sometimes you just got to take a break, but then you get back at it and just keep on going and pick yourself back up and go through
I,
the
s-
seasons.
yeah, and I saw them right after Dwayne died. That's so many years ago. I saw them,
Wow.
and they played in Corpus Christi, Texas. I'll never forget that. But
Yeah.
and
And a
so
Winnebago traveling around.
I don't remember. I was just a kid, and
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 Dickie took the lead of it, man. And despite losing two of their
yeah.
great musicians in a row, you know, and he helped them survive and have bigger hits and keep on going. And it's, you know, so that's inspiring to me.
Well, the other important thing is he was a really fantastic guitar player. I mean,
And a songwriter. Yeah.
and that Southern rock that they were playing was so cool back in those days. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I listened to use the live Fillmore East album over and over again. You know that, and
Yeah.
my last band we were doing Whipping Post, and I said we got to do that song 'cause I just think it's one of the coolest songs ever written. So,
Yes,
well,
sir.
I don't want to keep you anymore, Frank. You have a safe trip. Thank you so much, brother. It's a
Thank
joy
you
to
too.
talk to people like you because I just like seeing you continue to be successful. And the next time you're shoveling shit, don't think of me.
Well, I find that sometimes good songs come and melodies come when you're doing that kind of work. So I'll try to stay focused on that.
All right. You have a safe trip and have a great show tonight, okay?
Thanks, Rick.
All
Great
right.
talking to you, and we'll be
You
in
too.
touch.